Welcome back here to CFGI, getting ready to play our final match of the group stages. We know how everything's going to shake out, but we don't know one thing.
EU or Brazil?
Yep.
Who's greater?
As well as just who's going to win between PENTA and OPK.
So we don't know two things.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I guess they go hand in hand, though.
But is it your hand or somebody else's hand?
What are you getting at there?
I don't really know.
What are you getting at there?
I'm a little lost.
Yeah, it's been, I will say it's been a long 2 days, but very enjoyable. I mean, we've seen a lot of good matches. We've seen surprises, and then kind of, a little bit with Makta hopes maybe
My
reduced.
hopes are crushed.
My expectations are lowered, and it really seems like I'm afraid we might be cruising to the China final, but it's not over yet. Boss, I think more likely would be the Boss victory over TGF, but we're jumping around to tomorrow, which let's hold off on that for now, because PENTA versus OPK, bragging rights, baby. Because
all important bragging rights, all important.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just across EU, right? If Flipside picks up a match and PENTA doesn't, then Flipside gets bragging rights over PENTA, even though they came in as the second seed. And then regionally bragging rights between EU and Brazil, which is, I mean, apart from this tournament, it just seems like Brazil more and more is becoming one of those, is kind of the emerging new strong region in Crossfire, which has been a little bit, maybe it's the resurgence of the Philippines and Vietnam more than it's the decline of either of these regions.
Oh, for sure. I don't think EU is any worse than they were in CFPL. I don't know about how it can compare to last year, but it's just the re-emergence of Philippines and Vietnam.
Yeah, and you can almost point at two specific players for it, because it's not like if it was TNC and another team, it's literally, it might just be the re-emergence of Makta and this group of Vietnamese players. Although Cherry, coming out with 2 wins, maybe it's the re-emergence of Vietnam as a region and re-emergence of Makta as a real strong team.
Yeah, so maybe not so much Philippines, just as Makta.
Yeah.
Makta has really been the only strong team to come out of Philippines, even though we have seen 3 different versions, or 4 different versions now, including TNC.
Because, I mean, even though TNC does take down PENTA, do you if we restart the tournament tomorrow, do you power rank them above PENTA?
No. I don't power rank them above PENTA now.
Right, that's my point.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if PENTA goes out 0-4, they're statistically going to be above PENTA, though.
With the head-to-head loss, which is why I'm saying if we restarted the tournament fresh, day 1, tomorrow, knowing the results of these group stages, and I ask you to put out a power ranking, is PENTA going to be power ranked above or below TNC? I think I would still probably, maybe...
That's a hard one.
If OPK just straight up stomps, or excuse me, if OPK just straight up stomps PENTA in this next match, then maybe yes.
Yeah. Then maybe it wasn't just a fluke of a day or a fluke of a game.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just PENTA not being that good right now.
Yeah, it could be. We'll have to see. I think, and it's always just, it's one tournament. I think we'll see both of these teams come back and strong. Who are you going to give the nod to in this matchup, though? OPK versus PENTA.
With the way PENTA has been playing, I don't really know. I mean, if it was yesterday if it was 2 days ago, PENTA. But hard match to call. I'm gonna still give the nod to PENTA because
we're gonna differ on this one.
That's fine. I'm gonna give the nod to PENTA because Lunas is starting to show up again, and they have Blame and NLS popping off.
It's entirely possible that Blame will just straight carry on his own. But that being said, I mean, if you're talking about people popping off, there's plenty to look at on OPK.
That is true. You got Brinks.
And
he's been doing really well.
I mean, Ryozal has looked great today, even in their losses.
And Supremo has also looked really good.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard to pick, but I'm just gonna go for the old faithful of Europe. They came out on top in the last match.
That's true.
I'm
Maybe they're resurging late in the tournament when it's all on the.
A little bit too late now, but yeah.
What's the opposite of it's all on the line? For when it's for bragging rights.
When it's all off the line.
When it's all off the line. Well, that implies that it's not a LAN event, so you gotta watch that one.
Well, when it's all off the line.
Off the line. I guess this would still be an offline event.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna point that out, but I just glazed over it,
I appreciate it. That's that synergy.
Yeah,
teamwork, baby.
We both screw up together.
That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the players as they get ready. Blame there for me has been, how big can your backpack get?
Yeah, I mean he looks like a player who should be in the quarterfinals.
Easily, right? I'm not sure how many. I mean, I might even pick him up if I'm TGF with how he's been playing. I think might have had one of the more standout performances of anybody in their entire group.
And it's not so much even the amount of frags he's had. It's just like he's made such an impact, and he's had a lot of frags, and he's been entry fragging like crazy.
Right. That's the biggest thing for me is how many of them are just heads-up duels that he's winning. You look at other people who are pulling this off right now, and it's who else do you put in that group with him? That who else do you not want to see turning that corner? And you have to heads up fight.
Maybe Aldrin,
and maybe anyone from SV, barring
pretty much, except for barring Hi.
But
Hi did okay in his last match, but still, I'll still say barring Hi.
Right. So that's a pretty elite group to be in. And we'll see if he can't, try and maybe moving forward, try and push his teammates to return to that level that he's at. I mean, we've seen it from Niels in sparks of it, but it's just not at that same consistency that Blame has had it. And I think he might even be out fragging Blame, and maybe it's just the way the observers have been watching it, but it just feels...
it's just the type of kills he's been getting. It's Blame, the entry fragger, if they're doing pretty well, are always going to seem to be making more of an impact because it's early in the round and you notice it. When the scoreboard just, or when the top right of your screen is just lighting up with names, it's kind of hard to notice who is fragging. Yeah. So Niels has definitely been getting a lot of frags. Up there with Blame for sure. But yeah, you're right. It's harder to notice his frags because he's not opening the round up as much.
Yeah. And maybe that's a bit of my own bias being thrown there as not the highest... I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, Brinks there on your screen. It will be fun to watch.
A lot of matches we've casted.
Right, yeah. This is what?
The 20th, right?
Game 20, yeah. 19 down, 1 to go. Akami here for me has been one of those guys that, we just haven't seen it really out of him. And it'll be fun to watch Ryozao, Supremo versus, Brinks and these guys going up against the likes of Blame and Niels, who have looked better for Penta. Subbase and Mexico going to be the bans here, and Global Risk going to be taken on Black Widow, baby. Run it back. Run it back.
Oh my God.
That's the last 4.
Is this for real?
4 in a row. That's at least 4 in a row.
We've had 10 matches today, and I'm pretty sure we've had at least around half of them. Maybe 5 today? I don't know. We've had the match
minimum 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Because Penta, I know for a fact that Cherry Stars and Rude was there because it was that big sniping battle. Oh, let's get into it. As I talk over the game intro, I'm telling you. But seriously, I mean, how many times? I actually kind of enjoy this. Yeah. So here we go. Looking at long A, control being fought over tooth and nail. Hit to have anyone go down, but in fact it's going to be Supremo after it looked like he was going to maybe pick up 2 of his own. It's in fact Blame who gets 2, but Brinks right back at him, going to pick up 2 of his for himself. And that was the matchup I had briefly pointed out right before we got into it, and already paying out in dividends. Both Blame and Brinks with 2 to their name, but Brinks has the chance to lengthen that while as almost as if on command. Brinks picks up his 3rd with the... Oh, well, he's going to walk into...
I was about to say, can he get this ace? But there we go. We're in a 1v2 with Akami. Can Akami come up on top here? Can he show up here in this final match?
Very, very wisely, Niels backs out.
Waiting on his teammate here.
Yeah.
They definitely want to win this match. They don't want Flipside being the only one from EU to have a win.
Yeah, and that's for sure. Loon's going to be the man to keep an eye on as... Well, actually, I think clever here by Akami to go ahead and pick up that op. Unless he was running with it from the beginning and just losing their line here. I think he is, actually. He definitely is. He is 100% their opper. But in that situation, the op is better. I'm telling you, I'm starting to fray at the ends here a little bit as we get down to the end of the day. I apologize.
This is kind of like a free-for-all here with everybody just pushing on both sides. But as I say that, they're kind of backing up a little bit. But it would have been kind of cool to see people pushing B, mid, and A. But Brinks over here just cleaning house here. He's got 5 frags with no round win to his name yet either. 2 rounds in. FaZe all alone here in CT. He may be a little... Finally,
Rage J gets his name on the board.
Yeah.
We get 2. Supremo going to chime in with 1 for himself to end the round on the FaZe. And we'll see if the duel continues between Blame and Brinks. It's been fast and furious, but Blame went down in the last round after getting that double in the first round. Looks like we've completely given up A control, even though we did see both Awesome and FaZe head over that direction this time, and FaZe going to continue to poke that way as we do see the double op here. Rage going to pick one up as well as Akami. We did see, he's going to actually going to go ahead and trade there with Ryozal. As we do see 4 heading in towards this position. And they may have failed out just a little bit too late. And it is, in fact, Ryozal who's going to get caught unawares there and taken down by FaZe. So that will still leave 2 ops out here for OPK. And it's now Supremo and Akami who are holding on to them instead of Rage J. And we'll see how this works during this B hit, as Rage going to need to find at least a couple here as they're coming in. A big flash going to come out onto him while he has all but 5 HP, and he will go down immediately after. But
Brinks.
Still a 3-3.
Great position here by Brinks. I don't think they'll expect this at all. But Awesome, he still flicks over and takes him out. A good shot, a good flick there by Awesome. Oh, yeah. A nice little one tap to clean it up. Not too shabby.
Definitely important that Awesome gets that bomb down there at the end of the round. Wasn't quite able to do it, so maybe lost some morale there. Moving into the 4th round.
Didn't get that extra $300.
I'm telling you, man. Alchemy gonna go out there and find FaZe immediately, and that's gonna put his name on the board. Last one there, except for Ryozal, who a bit surprising to see that he's the man without anything on the board there for them. And Loon's also interesting because while he has no kills, he also has only 1 singular death.
Wait, how did he manage that?
Oh, well, that would be the one round that they lost.
Why am I was looking at Penta's... Okay, it's been a little bit of a long day here. I thought Penta had 2 losses. I don't know why. I looked at it, I saw 2. I thought that must have meant 2 L's.
Well, he could have,
they've been taking too many L's all day.
The bomb.
I thought it was only L's.
Bomb could have exploded before he died. Akami going to pick up 2 more. I believe that's his 3rd on the round. But he is going to get backstabbed there by Loons, as he does pick up the bomb on the way. And Blame and Loons going to be in the 2-on-2 versus Brinks. And it's going to be Ryozal who falls again there. And Brinks, I'm telling you, with how he started off this day, definitely the man you want in this situation. And he don't think he got eyes on it. And there it is. That's one way to start it off with the headshot there onto Blame. Going to need to find one more here onto Loons. He's going to win the round. Loons doing well to make it hard for him, as he does have the clock in his advantage. If he can just stay alive, bouncing back and forth, he has to put himself down, and another headshot.
Brinks, come on, man. That's some good stuff right there. Good angle.
Yeah.
That's a nice ang.
Just as far as, a one-on-one situation like that, how would you necessarily would you have done anything different from Lunas there in a situation like that?
No,
how
he
does
had
he
to
prevent that?
He had to peek.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he peeked too early. At that point, you would think that Brinks was possibly pushing his cat or he backed off. So he had to peek out to get the information. It's just unfortunate that Brinks was a little too intelligent right there with the Ing.
As well as he just, hit his shots. I mean, he's been on right now, as it is 7-2 now for him. An early kill going to come out on the Rage J, and Blame could have two, basically blind through the smoke. I don't know if he...
Blame is so good.
He's been so hot, and it's really starting to turn into the who can carry harder, Blame or Brinks show, as Niels says, I'm here too, with 5 kills to his own name. And again, it's that situation where it's actually both of them dragging it. It's just more noticeable when Blame does it for some reason.
Maybe the cameras just on Blame more often or something.
It's got to be. I mean, Niels has got a better KDA. And I mean, let's be honest, that's what really matters.
Blame has actually had a really high amount of deaths because he's the entry fragger here.
Yeah.
And there's so many times where he'll have like 9 kills, but he also has 6 or 7 deaths.
Yeah, that's a good point. Rio's out there still without a single kill to his name. That's something that's going to have to change, or else he's probably going to start leaning more and more in Penta's favor, because Brinks can only carry so hard for so many rounds, let's be honest. I mean, man sitting there at 7-3. He's putting in work. You got to help him out here a little bit, Ryozao. We know you can do it. We've seen it before. I'm sure you'll get there here in a minute. We'll see if you can get it done here as he holds on Cat.
On Cat here. You can definitely have this as a good opportunity to get a couple frags, but he's taken out again. 0 and 5. Unfortunate half here for Ryozao.
He may have gone AFK to get some water. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He may have been eating a cookie or something.
But that man taking no breaks is Brinks. Getting another one for him. Now 8-3 wins. Starting to turn it up here with a double kill for himself, and the bomb plant going to come down. The 2v3 retake going to be attempted here by Akami and Brinks, and let's be honest, he's playing scary right now, and he's creeping up. Brinks is going to find one. Turns into the third person, but the crossfire a little bit too much there for him.
And you saw him, he was immediately trying to get around the corner in order to get away from the guy shooting him in the back. Just spatial awareness there.
Yeah. Certainly having a huge half here for himself. And again, it's looking a lot more spread out on Penta. It's something we haven't seen before. It's actually going to be Blame taken down by Ryozao. And Ryozao going to get another one. Finally getting on the board here with 2 in this round. And that's looking like it might make a big difference here. As I do believe he got that tag damage onto Niels as well. Getting very close to picking up a 3 for himself. And we'll see how this helps down the line here for OPK, as they do have the man. What would you say, like 1.5 man advantage?
1 and a fourth, 1 and an 8,
1 3/4 man advantage.
Well, all I gotta say here is, it's about time somebody got those frags early to help clean up, so Brinks doesn't have to kill somebody later on.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
He's been doing a lot of work, but you're just leaving him a little bit too much work to deal with.
I mean, really, if I told you coming into this that it's going to be Supremo and Ryozao, just judging from the rest of their matches that are going to be bottom fragging here for OPK, I don't think you would have. I think you would have been quite surprised.
They only have 3 kills between them.
Yeah,
7 rounds in. Nah, I wouldn't have believed that.
That being said, it is 3-on-2 still, and Brinks looking to pick up more, and it is actually going to be Akami who closes it out. But 10 now for Brinks.
Spray control from Brinks is honestly something I haven't even... Like, the Brazilians in general are really good at spray control, but Brinks' spray control is unreal. This man doesn't even bother tapping, and yet he just frags so hard. And his spray... The random spray... the way spraying works in CF is very random. It's hard to control because of that. You never know where the bullets are going to go. And so the fact that he's able to control it so well, he's got some secret style. I don't know. I need to know.
Yeah, so you even seeing it in that way, you can't even necessarily exactly pick out what he's doing differently from another player?
No, because, like I said, with each gun, there's maybe 4 different spray patterns that can happen. It can go up, left, up, right. It can go up, left, and right really fast. It can do so many different things. And I watched him sitting down in the practice, and you can see him here. He just constantly sprays. And he's getting frag after frag because he controls it so well.
Very impressive, although while you're talking about him, he does go down as the first casualty of this round. This seems to be a theme here with us. And it will be Penta after a couple trades back here in fourth that find themselves in the 3-on-2 advantage, and FaZe looking for some joy here, and a lot of spray coming onto Awesome, but it will be Lunas who takes down Supremo before he can finish up that kill. And Akami going to find one, but he's going to be put in a rough situation, and it's going to be Awesome through the box there to pick up the last kill onto Akami. And Penta with that one, going to guarantee themselves a winning half on the attack. Definitely what they want to see for themselves moving into the second half, especially if they can get to that 6-3 margin. As they do file out onto the map, evenly spread across, looking like we might have a bit of a slower round here for our last round. That being said, already Neil's going to open one up onto Brinks, and that seems to be a pretty key strategy here if you want to take rounds off of OPK. With I feel like all 3 rounds that they picked up have been 100% in the hands of Brinks. Maybe other picking up kills, but the impact rounds I felt like Brinks' hands.
And he's always been driving those rounds, at least 1 or 2 kills.
Yeah. And he's coming in with a pistol. Ow. That's a new look. FaZe on the entry with the pistol. First man through the door.
And last man to get a kill.
Yeah, there you go. That's the new strats, bro. You don't even know. It's that next level.
You gotta hit him before it snows.
It's that tippy top, in the words of
gotta hit him with that bippy bop.
Tippy top. The bippy bop. Oof. And we do see the trade coming back across.
Is it a Kappa I saw on the side of their sleeve?
Yeah. As in the brand. Yeah.
There's a brand Kappa of what?
It's typically soccer gear. Or
really?
football, depending on where our viewers are from. Yeah.
Oh, didn't know that. I just thought it was a troll.
I actually really enjoy their cleats, but they don't really make as many as they used to. Mostly an apparel brand now. That being said, side change does come out, and Penta with a pretty sizable lead, especially they're going to feel very comfortable as they move on to the defensive side here. With that 3-point advantage, should put them in a nice position they haven't really been before. FaZe going to pick up 2, Blame going to pick up 2, and only Brinks alive. I don't know if he can pull off the 1v5. Well, that's one way to start it, you know. And he's got, unfortunately, not looking in FaZe's direction, and will get headshotted in return. And now 3-7 all of a sudden. Whew! Akami going to pick one up onto Niels, followed by a headshot from range there onto Blame. And early in this round, it's been something that we haven't seen recently. It's actually going to be FaZe. He's got 4 kills to his name without a single death. Let's see if he can replicate some more of that magic. He's got 1 already in this round, and he's going to need to pick up at least another pick if he can. To try and give his team a chance in this round. And it will be Ryuzao going to actually pick up the double kill there to take us to 4-7 in this second half. And as they fan out again, looking like pretty even line of scrimmage here. 3 members.
Penta's just pushing on both sides of the map here. But opting to back out after it, so it doesn't really make sense.
Looks like Ryuzao could be the big earner of that. Oh, it's going to be shot. It will be hit Ryuzao, who finds Awesome first there. And he'll be up against it there as he gets double peeked by Lunas, picking up the kill. And just kind of one at a time, everybody dropping all over the map.
Brinks is still alive, though, so... This could be
He's
quite
bringing
a threat,
up the rear.
but so is Blame. Both the heavy fraggers here alive for both teams, so anything can happen. Maybe they'll have a good.
That being said, for the second half, it's been FaZe who's really been topping the charts here. I'm seeing it 5-1 for himself. And
he's starting to show up.
Well, Caster's curse continues.
Takes out Blame as well. Nice shots there from Brinks.
Yeah, a nice round from him, and that's going to drag it back to 5-7. And, well, Ryozal going to be gonna best phase there in the op battle, as looking like the triple op here for OPK. Perhaps everybody was sitting there in wait for phase to make that move towards the mid doors.
Looks like it because they all switched off the op.
Except for Ryozal, who can't after firing the shot that kills phase, and Akami, their typical sniper. And it will be Supremo who dinks
the toxic. The toxic spray.
There you go.
Yeah. I wonder what's happening here.
Everybody feeling loose. Having a little bit of fun, maybe. And does look like the way things have worked out is actually going to be OPK getting onto this A site. And only Loons left alive, as the bomb plant should be coming through. Whoa, I'm not sure what that was there from Rage J. Feeling confident enough to jump into the waiting on Loons and turn this into a 2v1. He's spraying through the... Who is
All
this
right,
guy?
Brinks. All right, buddy. Come on.
You need to calm it down over there. We can only take so much hype. I can see why people have been acclaiming him as one of, if not the best players in Brazil. And he's certainly shown it at this tournament, even if OPK was unable to advance.
The thing is, he showed up every single match. There wasn't even a single half where he was probably this man was fragging every half.
Yeah. You know, he wasn't having like the crazy kind of impact we've seen him through this entire match. But, I mean, you definitely can't put him at a point where he was not being impactful, like you said. And he'll definitely be someone you want to keep your eye on moving forward in the crossfire scene, internationally and domestically in Brazil. As OPK ties it up with an extremely clean round there, 5-0, I do believe. We'll tie things here at 7-7. Will we see another overtime?
Don't jinx it now. Manage to the finish line.
I think it'd be pretty interesting, because I would really want to know. I really want to see, you know, it's almost been so much about Penta. Playing with the team for himself, he's looking for more with the pistol, and gonna try to pick one up with the frag
What is that
grenade.
popping there? It's probably it had to be phase, right? Only man who would be just hopping for no reason.
You would know better than I, but we have seen a lot of hopping out of phase out of the corner of our eyes in games before.
It's almost like he doesn't know what W means without spacebar.
Exactly. You can't do it. It's not physically possible. You got to get that workout. You got to get that
The full hand workout. It's almost like the full body workout, but not really.
exactly. Oh, I was thinking of his character, but yeah, also the hand workout.
Yeah.
As that if you
He's
were
got some strong legs.
exactly,
On his
if you were Phase's avatar, you would be you would have the largest calves of anyone.
leg shots would do maybe 1 damage to you.
Exactly. He would just,
With the op.
and he would fire them back out with his muscles.
He just
You have
every
to
time he
watch
flexes.
Yeah, exactly. You have to watch out for that. I don't know if it's considered a ricochet at that point. Regardless, it will be Penta who finally is able to pick up a round after OPK drags their way back into this. And Akami stepping in, does get flashed, but it does look like they're going to try and push multiple places here. As Prince is pushing in mid, gets tagged heavily as FaZe does take down Rage J. And looking for more is awesome. He can't quite find it. He taps Supremo with the deagle. The damage is dealt both to himself and the other team, sitting at only 5 HP, but he lives to tell the tale.
But actually doesn't.
FaZe,
And
where
he goes
has this
Supremo.
been?
I know, right? Nice there from Blame. That has definitely been there the entire time, though.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, perhaps it's... I mean, FaZe had a great second half for himself. And maybe it's just that we're so ingrained that we're just for the level of play that we typically see out of FaZe, that it's just that we're maybe especially hard on him.
That was a great pre-scope there from FaZe, though. What a great read on him. And it looks like the trades are just going to go back and forth yet again, as this entire match has.
But it will be Penta who comes out in the advantage.
On match point as well, so 3v2, and they're definitely the favorites to put this 2-0 over Brazil.
Yeah. Nice little shot there.
Ryuto.
Nice to see him coming online in the second half after pretty much an abysmal first half. He's come out and top fragged for his team here in the second half.
Maybe he mistaken that 0 last half for an 8. Pretty similar. Twisted a little bit. What is an 8? Just a 0 twisted?
Technically, yes. That being said, I don't think that was the case. And I think it's just more that you can only keep a player like Ryoza down for so long before he's just going to go ahead and start hitting his shots.
Such tight games today, though. Just
how many overall? I really want to know what the percentage of headshots has been just in this match alone for Brinks.
Even though he's just holding down mouse 1 a lot, he is really good at keeping that spray control on head level. I seen him doing that, in a first-person point of view, just watching behind him during the practice, and he kept doing it over and over. Just somehow keeping it at head level. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see. And I mean, I feel like every time we see him take a kill, it's a headshot. Yeah. And you're definitely right. It's spraying beforehand and immediately finding the headshot in the second after.
Aim correction, yeah.
Right. I mean, there you go. Another headshot from him. Although headshots all over here, going back and forth. Akami going to get the op shot there onto Loons and going to leave Awesome as the only man left alive. Does get out as enemy fire coming over his head.
We're going to see overtime here.
Supremo. We are. Not necessarily.
Oh, maybe not.
Awesome. Down. Yeah, it will be overtime. And Penta, they had their opportunity to close it out. But couldn't quite find the kills there in the last round. And in fact, it was OPK winning that last round pretty handily.
Last couple rounds there, yeah.
As we switch sides again.
And this man right here coming alive in the second half. Yeah. Really one of the big reasons why they, even had a chance to tie it up.
You definitely feel, as his teammate, you'd be appreciative that if you go something like 1-2-6 in the first half, you come back something like 8-3.
Appreciate him for fragging this half.
Right.
You just go up to him, give him some dap, high five him a little bit. Yeah. Appreciate you, boss.
Yeah. I doubt that happens as much in solo queue when you're playing as somebody.
Because you always carry when you play,
Exactly.
Always carrying my squad.
I'm always the best player at all times.
And blame
no one
taking out Brinks there. Beginning of overtime.
Yeah, that's been a very important matchup, let's be honest. And Ryoza going to be the other one you need to take down as far as recent performance. Although it's the first half of overtime, so probably Brinks the more important kill.
True.
Once we get to the second half, it's Ryoza you need.
Yeah, because as it was indicative of the first half and second half.
Indeed. Indeed. I mean, Brinks wasn't especially racking him up in the second half. I mean, he was certainly contributing, though.
Yeah, 7 kills, I think.
Right, that's his
his low point.
his low point is 7 kills. Regardless, pretty even coming in here, even down to the health advantages here. Playing maybe slightly less, and in fact it's going to go down, but traded. Nice double triple here for Ryoza. Turning it on, but Niels is not to be outdone. And he turns it into a one-on-one with Akami.
You can round this up.
Place your bets. Here. Place your bets. Call it now. Who's going to win it?
NLS. Even though Akami is ready for him, so maybe. Oh, no, I don't take it back. I still vote for NLS.
Woo! That was
he's going to get the young Tapperoonie on him, or maybe the Nader on him. Ooh, no damage.
It looked like it was dead on, and he had 42 HP. Had it hit for full damage, that would be a dead Akemi. Gets tagged, and it's going to be the pistol duel winner, Niels. Congratulations to yourself as well.
I don't know what I win.
Literally nothing.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Not even bragging rights.
Kind of like what I won at CFGI as well. Here, I won
Ooh.
nothing because I didn't play, you know.
Oof. Or as NA as a reboot.
Yeah, I won nothing.
Oh, well, that is quite unfortunate. We'll see if maybe next year NA can find a way through some other international performances, perhaps CFS, to find their own invite here to Crossfire Invitational.
Reese is inviting himself to the top of the score charts here.
But he's going to have to outdo Ryuzo, which is starting to look like a bit of a task. That being said, it's Penta who has the points on the board, thanks to Niels' effort, the efforts of Niels himself, who found it last round for them. But while Ryuzo found... Lane going to find Brinks.
We're finding Brinks again 2 rounds in a row.
Ryuzo had it there. Definitely missed the shot. In a weird position here. They decide not to fall back from it, and Ryuzo 6-1.
Those staggered peaks from OPK there. That was some good stuff. Peeking the door and then not peeking, letting the other teammate peek and then peeking again on the door.
Doing cool. Very well to use the cover to the advantage.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, intentional or not.
Yeah, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt in that situation. Because, you know, blame what's sitting there out in the open. You might as well try and use that cover to your advantage, right?
Yeah, correct. Might as well hide behind it. You don't want him popping your head off.
Yeah, he's been quite adept at that, as many players have been showing us in this match. We've been seeing headshots lighting up all over the place. Not too many body shots to speak of outside of the op users, which is always something that's so impressive about watching pro Crossfire, is that just the percentage of headshots is actually a little bit out of control.
Headshot. No, he got 2 shots, of course.
He's got 4 kills.
4 kill.
3 rounds in a row.
Oh my god! To end the overtime.
4K, 3 rounds in a row from Yozo.
Really? Actually?
Yes.
This man is going insane.
8 kills in the first half of overtime, and his team went 1-2.
Well, that sounds like Brinks the first half. Almost.
What did I say? 8?
12.
12 kills. Yeah, 12 kills. I was going to say, for some reason I felt like
12, right?
Yeah. Unless I'm wrong.
I'm not.
I don't think I'm wrong.
You could be right.
I swear.
I'm going to give it to you. No need to defend yourself there. Come on, now.
Maybe, actually, did Brinks have a double in the second?
I think he might have. That's why I was curious.
Regardless.
It was still a good. It was a good show. It was a good show from him.
Minimum of 2 points. Because he started out round 1 4-0. 4-1, technically, because he did lose that round. Anyway. 2-1, advantage to OPK. We close out here with 2 rounds in the second half. Otherwise, we'll be
golden round again.
Golden round. What is it with
happened with Penta earlier?
What is it with the Brazilian teams, the Brazilian and European teams, and their overtimes? First time they've had it against each other, but they've both been a part of one, right?
Yeah. This would be the 3rd overtime, I think, or 4th.
Regardless, that entry gonna come with a hefty price as FaZe just takes literally everyone down with the deagle.
FaZe showing his true colors and throwing down the op.
Exactly, man. I'm telling you, he might have more deagle kills than he does op. Which is not even like a slight to his op usage. It's just that the man is so good with the deagle.
He really is.
It's a little bit bonkers. And that's going to tie us up at 2-2 here. So we're going to need to string 2 rounds together here on either side to close this out before the golden round. And Niels looking to give Penta the advantage here into the 5v4 as they head towards the A site in mass, but minus the C4, which is in the hands of Akame, who's peeking over towards B site. It does look like he's decided to join the effort here onto the A site, although considering going long A, he will go ahead, and it will look to be a 4-man push. And it looks like Blame's read this out a little bit, as he's not even kind of respecting the split push there from long A. And I think wisely OPK backs away from this. Blame was in such a good position to really stuff that push.
See if they can deal with this box room stack, though. Come in, and else is going to get 1. Early on, 2. Can he make a 3? No. Usually gets the trade back onto him. And, was it only 1 person on that box? Was it not even a stack?
It was a stack. I think it was Loon's managed to fall back from that position somehow. He might have fallen back right before they came in.
Beginning of this round, though, looks like Penta is going to go ahead and push both sides of the map again. Seems to be like a reoccurring theme here, taking long A control and peeking VAs just to see what's going on. Seeing if they're pushing or not. Missed a trade instantaneously. 2 people dying on one on each side. At long A here, and Blame, he's still trying to peek. He's still trying to get these headshots, but maybe he's just going to back off. He doesn't want to risk it. And we got all the T's here, all the BL, all coming up A long. And Penta is not out of B long anymore, so they actually don't know if they're B or not, which means they're not going to make a full heavy rotation over.
It's going to be up to this man on your screen as well as Niels. And I mean, if you want somebody stopping it with the way things have been going, well,
neither one are looking at long A. A little bit of a miscommunication, maybe. I don't know.
You still have to say that. It's so clinical. It's literally SEAL Team 6 up in here.
Is it going to be golden round? Really?
It will indeed. Swap sides.
Today, 2 golden rounds.
Swap sides one more time.
Was that flip side earlier that held the golden round, actually? Or was it Penta?
I don't even remember this one.
It's been so many rounds of CF today. It may have been Penta, actually.
It was Penta versus Boss, right?
Yeah.
On Mexico.
What a tough match that was.
Indeed.
Or wait, it might have been Flipside because Flipside was being very stale that match. Remember?
Flipside versus Cherry.
Yeah. So both EU teams having a golden round today. Let's see if it goes against both of them.
Oh lordy! Stretching it out, baby. All right, call it.
Who's gonna win?
Yep.
Well, with the way things have been going, Penta's been firing on more cylinders, I think. So I'm gonna go for Penta here.
Who's gonna have most kills?
In the round, I'm gonna say Ryuzo. Somehow he's gonna get the most kills and lose the round again.
That would be so appropriate.
And he's already. Oh, that's actually Penta making their way up Cat here, taking Cat control, leaving long A wide open. And it's gonna take the T's a little while to figure that out, though.
Yeah. Awesome, playing very patiently from there. Could end up in a really nice position the way things are starting to shake out. And unfortunately, though, it looks like nobody home on the A side. And if... Oh, well, they're going to come back across. Awesome should be able to see that equipment come out. And FaZe is actually going to find the first one there onto Rage there. And Awesome is going to start thinking about poking out. FaZe might have caught a peek there on the brinks as he went across. I'm not sure. Most likely not, judging by the angle he's ending up taking. And it seems like... what is OPK really up to here? It seems like it's just long A, back to mid.
They're just trying to figure out what Penta is doing here. That's what it seems like. They're really like unsure because this is the first round Penta has left long A wide open. What a shot there from Ryuzo. Wow.
These I feel like just some of the most impressive...
Not even time to react.
Right. Some of the most impressive kills have come from Ryozo and Brinks just in this exact match.
Yeah. I agree. The 4Ks, that ultra kill.
Yeah, I mean, Ryoza has minimum 2 4Ks and 1 3K.
Ooh, this flank by Awesome though. This could that pretty much did it.
Would you
that
say
flank by Awesome right there?
Would you say that flank by Awesome was
Pretty
awesome?
I'll give it to him. I mean, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say awesome. Maybe decent. Some.
That being said, we now know EU greater than Brazil.
Yeah, bringing it out 2-0.
And after all the
Two tight
worries,
matches though.
and after all the worries that EU would not pick up a single one, they in fact pick up 2, 1 apiece. And our only winless team is actually Rude, which is so crazy. It's been a topsy-turvy group stage, and all right. Pick me. I told you I was going to force you to answer this question
Forgot.
earlier in the day.
I'll have to do this off the top of my head.
Go ahead. I'll give you a second to think about it, but let's start with Group A. TGF, Cherry Stars, Pacific Mokta, Rude, and Flipside. Who is your MVP from the group stage?
You know, usually the MVP almost always comes out of the winning team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to throw a little curveball in it because China, they're just expected to come out on top, and they all performed so well.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Aldrin because I was really, I'm just going to say most impressed by him. Most impressed player, I guess, it might be.
Yeah, I mean, that's acceptable,
he won
right?
so many battles. Maybe wasn't even the most impactful player on Mokta in the end. I think he was, but maybe even not. It doesn't even matter to me because just his ability to win all the duels.
And I think he's been more impactful than any specific member on TGF.
For his team, yeah. So
As
most valuable player to the team, yeah.
Even just in all the rounds, I mean, who from TGF has had the consistency that Aldrin did throughout the group stage? I can't
not even
think of anybody personally.
Not even Chongar.
No, he had some
good in every
times
game.
when he was just not really showing up, but Aldrin was consistently doing his thing. So I definitely think that's a good pick there out of Group A. What about Group B?
Group B, it gets a little harder because that was a mangled mess there.
I mean, but let's be honest. It has to come from SV, right?
No, because all of SV played so well. Who on SV really outperformed everybody else?
I mean,
Imson was the only one who didn't even do that well.
I would say take your pick between N9 and 18.
I don't know.
That's my personal opinion.
I'm not going to pick it from... Okay, you can pick your MVP from them.
I'll give it
but
to
I'm
18.
just going to say... You're gonna give it to 18?
Mine's 18 from Group B.
You know what? 18 has been my favorite player of all time.
Don't let me influence you. Say what you were going to say.
No,
say what you were going to say.
You mentioned it, and now I can't back down from it. Because I've always liked watching Shaba.
Oh, there you go.
My boy
Shaba. 18. Yeah. And he's had a great performance. I mean, it's not even necessarily the frags for me. It was just...
Oh, no, the impact, for sure.
Right. The way he's forcing the enemy team into bad decisions or lost decisions, where whatever they do, it's gonna come out badly. So then, who are you gonna say before I influenced you into 18? Now I'm super curious.
You know, I'm trying to think of the names off of Boss.
Well, I mean, if you're going to pick somebody from Boss, it has to be Ali, right? I mean, who else would it be?
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's where I was thinking. I was trying to remember if it was Ali or KZ on that team, because both have made a huge impact on both their teams. They're both similar players.
Their play styles are so similar. You were getting on to me earlier for this, but I like that you're backing me up on it now. Yeah, well, I feel like they play so similar.
But the main thing is that it was such a struggle for any of those teams to get second place. And Boss managed to do it, and on the back of Shady and Ali. But Ali is the leader. He's done a lot more. Yeah, they both probably fragged pretty similar levels.
And he played much more consistently than Shady.
For sure.
Like Shady had times where he was popping off.
Oh, yeah.
But Ali was always
there. And that's what I was about to say. He's a leader, always there. And that adds up to it. That's the reason why they got there. Or you add all that up, and that's the reason why they got there. So I'll give it to Ali.
So that does it for the group stage. Now, just to remind you guys who has advanced and in what order. 4-0 performance from both Chinese teams, which is worrying for anybody who doesn't want to see the all-China final that we all love so much.
I mean, you have to love it because it happens so often.
As we do take a look back at today's results, the big games really were. I mean, TGF versus Rude actually was important at the time, but ended up not really mattering too much. Boss versus OPK was a big win for Boss, and they closed out their way into the next round by beating Penta there. And
then extremely important was TGF showing Makta wasn't as big of a force as we thought they may be.
The schedule for tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have Longdui versus Hudui, Dragon Team versus Tiger Team. It's a match between I guess it's CFGI All-Star, so it'll be a mixed team, and where there will be some interesting stuff. And then followed by TGF versus Boss, and finishing up with SV versus Makta, and it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Do you see it? All right. Instead of asking you for predictions, because I think it's a little bit cut and dry.
Yeah.
Where do you see an upset happening?
Boss. I think Boss has more what it takes to be able to take out be surprising. I'll just throw that out there.
I think that's fair. I also think that pretty clearly TGF has not looked as good as SV.
That's part of it too, yeah.
So that delta, I think I agree. That being said, that's going to do us here today for CFGI. Please join us tomorrow. It will be, let me check the time, again at same time as we came on today, 12 o'clock tomorrow, China time.
Midnight Eastern.
There you go, midnight Eastern in America. Please join us again tomorrow. But for now, that's all.